afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Off here to 1 vs 1 across in the woods in the north. It is VonIvan fighting here for the Oberkommandist Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the elite Panzerdivision West in the south, it is GAT fighting here for America, freedom, democracy. Taking on the role here of the 2nd Armored Division, we got here elite armored doctrine for VonIvan, triple infantry versus GAT with recon support, rifle company, and heavy cavalry with triple infantry as well there. Double rifle start for GAT, double force there for VonIvan, immediately commits to elite armored doctrine. We'll have to see what GAT ends up with, but he certainly has a few choices there, and several of them involve some more or less heavier elite armor for the late game as well of their own sorts, though. Technically, elite armor doctrine doesn't necessarily offer elite armor, just upgrades to make the tanks better. The Sturmtiger sort of, can be really annoying, though, in certain maps. More forces out there for VonIvan. In the east, GAT advances slowly, so both sides are basically heading for their respective, shall we say, fuel points in a sense. One hits west, the other hits east, both crossing the river. The mighty river Doodlebug. I don't know what it's called. Fulton moving towards here, grabbing the cutoff point there. Note the capping order here for VonIvan, so we'll quickly go up to the, shall we say, crucial points, and then sort of just slowly caps up afterwards. That's how we say is one particular capping order that can be utilised. Third Fulton squad on the way there for VonIvan. We're probably seeing more rifling here for GAT. They could try and, I suppose, go for a really fast tech, but there you go, more rifling on the way there. And then we're probably seeing the lieutenant or a captain shortly after, but I'm guessing lieutenant since that's the more common choice. But of course, GAT could commit to other venues there. All the way, third Fulton squad almost done there. Rifle squad also almost done there for GAT. Rifle moving in, that's going to try and think Ace, try and start with VonIvan, maybe threaten his cutoff point, which would certainly be a bold move there by GAT. You could, of course, just try and attack forwards into VonIvan here, but obviously that'd be a bit silly. Rather try to, outmaneuver them, hit them where they aren't ready for it, and, that way, cause more damage as the suddenly forced to react in a pattern they not necessarily don't want to. Try and for VonIvan. With the earliness there, I'd definitely say that's a bad go for headquarters, though I've seen some players go for very early try and then still go for mechanized regiment. I mean, that's still possible. In particular with elite armor, which does have the heat rounds, and some players really like the heat rounds with their Pumas. Right here, they're being engaged. They go rifling tank from the north. Other squad not moving, but they can sort of keep the sides flanking of the other troops covered. There you go. Sturm Pan is focused down. Align the rifle here with the Volksman. Got the rifle squad to the other Volksman squad here. Suddenly things get very intense between GAT and VonIvan, as both players sort of look to catch the one off guard. But in this case, it looks like VonIvan got the upper hand here on GAT. So nice play there for VonIvan. GAT doing his best with things, so looking a bit sticky here. Back here, we got the lieutenant as expected on the way there for GAT. VonIvan there, truck moving ahead, and we got the 2-2-1. Scout on the way there for VonIvan as well. Like to punch his B-Wagen. Was based off the Hoch, I'm not sure how to pronounce that one, 801 car, which is also used by the army to transport troops about in. In fact, they have lots of early troops to transport this stuff around there. Rearson's going here for the cutoff point, though it's not really cutting anything off, but it could threaten the other cutoff point. Truck they're standing about. And we got the 2-2-1 out there for VonIvan. Right, folks, they're going for the munitions point, securing the cutoff point here, or road point. Again, it's yet to cut anything off. Lieutenant on the way there for GAT. Up north here, Rearsons there are being pursued here aggressively by the 2-2-1 there from VonIvan and the Panzerdivision. Shooting away there with its MG-34 mounted on top. Rifle squad on the way there, but they do manage to get the anti-tank rifle grenade just in time, but they do end up retreating, probably owing to the low health and do not want to take any sort of unnecessary manpower losses. Folks are fighting against a large chunk of riflemen, lacking nation of the incendiary grenades, can have a hard time sort of fending them off. And in the end here, VonIvan's folks are being routed still. His GAT sort of a decent map control here. They're not quite dominating, neither though they would say the same for GAT there. They're getting pretty much the same amount of resources, in fact. So 50-50 split there, more folks than that for VonIvan. 2-2-1 moving in to deal with the rifle up close, doing as much damage before they can pop the anti-tank rifle grenade. Of course, the police get the experience for it, and there you go, routed. But 2-2-1 in this regard can be quite effective, sort of pressuring infantry early on, in particular can get it out pretty fast compared to other, shall I say, lighter vehicles of sort of that class. So there's a slightly, I think, increase on the meta in players going for elite armor just to basically get out a fast 2-2-1 to pressure their opponent. We got the M20 away here for GAT. Still good chance actually getting a wipe. There we go, gets an early wipe there on GAT's rifle, and that's pretty big there for VonIvan. Usually getting a wipe down against an American player early on can be quite unpleasant for them, since that's turning any manpower down. And it does tend to be one of the American weaknesses, even with the officers getting popped up. If they lose infantry, it can still be a bit difficult for them to catch up. Right, Friesen's lieutenant in the west. Got the 221 being pushed back by the M20. The 221 is not particularly well defined for dealing with the M20. We'll obviously how VonIvan reacts to that. He's got no anti-tank weapons as of yet. Trucks still standing about, which certainly indicates it's likely is a mechanized regiment for VonIvan, in which case, very early choice there of a mechanized regiment. Very early. Fox doing what they can here. Ambulance on the way there for GAT. That's going to be a nice investment since someone's rifling in a pretty weak state there and could get heavily damaged here by the 221. There we go, mechanized regiment up there for VonIvan. 221 that needs to be careful. It's taking heavy damage with the M20 and its 50 caliber mount. It's a shame here for VonIvan to lose his 221, even though again he did get a wipe with it. So it's not going to be a total write-off there for VonIvan if he does lose it, but you know, it'd be nice if like you could transition into the late game here with the radio set, which is certainly something interesting with the 221 compared to pretty much any other light vehicle. Like when most light vehicles sort of hit a point where they're just not very good in a lot of cases, with few exceptions like the Puma and the T70 Pro to the AC, though, which actually is not that many. But again, it sort of joins in a different way, whereas the others are getting just sort of decent versus medium armor to a degree, or just really good versus infantry. The 221 can become the 223 and help you secure resources. So switch over to a later late game, which I think is sort of another way. But you know, it still has that way to sort of just transition, which you know, stuff like the 221 lacks, for example. The looks also isn't really sort of unique. You want to get late game. Let's build a new one. So there's some notes there. In this case, if he's going to secure, that's going to mean he gets twice as much fuel munitions at the point, which is certainly not nice. It's basically then effectively he's got like 2 of these points then, just by holding 1. And of course, the earlier he gets, the more resources he can get. Of course, he might want to secure fuel points, and that might get a lot of fuel. But even then, more fuel in general, just more munitions is not going to hurt here as a scout at all. So there we are. You might want to repair it a bit. And so obviously goes for against Lux or Puma. Lux will certainly help versus the infantry, 10 degree versus the M20, though of course the Puma would just be better versus the M20 and more overall any other tanks Gat might get down the road. But he has gone for Recon support, opening up for the Greyhound, pack howitzers, paratroopers, pathfinders, and of course cluster bombs. The M83 cluster bombs, notable for being a complete copy of the German butterfly bombs. And they straight up just copied it. So a little fun fact there. We got Stern Pass running about here looking to ambush the lieutenant. Bit of skirmishing. We've got Rifle moving straight into the Foxman's line of fire, though they are sticking close to cover. Very good work there. Lots of sandbags here by VonIvan. Very good. Securing the western fuel point. He was losing the eastern one. Now the goes going to try and move to the Stern Pass close to the lieutenant. Interesting time they've probably forgotten about them. We're just preoccupied with other matters. He's definitely got the resources now, I'd say, for the looks, but again, he might be planning the Puma here. Noting with the M20, I haven't actually seen any mines from GAT from it, and the answer to that does seem to be a thorough no. There we go, Puma on the way, 254-2. The 234-1 was basically sort of the same chassis, but with the same gun as, say, the 222. As seen in Company Heroes 1. And we've got an airdrop combat group in for GAT, opening up for paratroop, and of course a pack howitzer. That's going to put some pressure then for VonIvan. Puma almost done, so the paratroop light machine guns could also give VonIvan a bit of a headache with their Browning light machine guns. There we go, landing down. He chooses in this case the safety of the base to avoid, you know, anyone getting caught up in any trees. Pumaing about their rifle going for the cuff point, but road point again is not really at this point again cutting off. I think they're good. Actually takes a few hits from the flak emplacement. That's a bit unfortunate for GAT. Puma moving out. 223 continues to secure for now and a bit of extra resources. And we got a 50 cover for GAT, help to deal with infantry and probably also any light vehicles like the Puma. The armor piercing rounds can be quite effective there. Focusing out here, Puma in as well there. M20 is trying to stay away there. I don't think he's quite aware of the Puma yet. He may have spotted it, so that might also be another reason he's being a bit more cautious with his M20 when around VonIvan's forces. Now he's just expecting it, which, you know, would make a lot of sense. 50 cover down the way. Pack cards being reinforced as well. Direct hit from the Puma on the M20. Almost got it here, but the bazooka seems to be up. Oh, he's going to brave it. He's going to pop smoke. They're staying in the smoke cloud and then try to shoot it, but quite misses there. And then he gets it. Nice work there for now. A bit of a blow there to Gat. Lost his M20, and again, I don't think we've seen any mines from him, so there's nothing to say that could, trip up the Puma and destroy it. For now, I'm filling up there on the MG34 to help deal with some of all of Gat's infantry. In particular, might be helpful down the rest of those paratroopers once they say get some Browning light machine guns up, as they could otherwise give Phenomen's infantry a bit of a headache. And then promptly cure it by filling in that head with lead, since, no head, no headache. Fulters there holding about 50 cal moving up there. Fulters the rifle in the east. And a bit of skirmishing here, grabbing the western fuel point. Certainly Phenomen there is being helped a bit by the 223. It's only slightly sort of negating the fuel losses otherwise suffer from all this harassment from Gat, which is certainly well played there by Gat. And in this regard, Gat, I think, is certainly looking to just gain a fat fuel ATO for VonIvan, if possible, which is definitely the right approach. There we go, then before doing the paratroopers, but VonIvan does not have sufficient infantry in the area to sort of actually rush in and finish off the paratroopers and Gat to safely pull them back. He's moving in the Puma, probably trying to do the D there. We'll have to see how that works out. But VonIvan's force is actually quite overextended. I mean, he's got no real force concentration elsewhere, though. Similarly, though, the thing is with Gat, of course, at least in some places, he's got more elite infantry, whereas for VonIvan, it's largely Fult's going to do so. Now, some ammo there with our way. Puma going here for the paratroopers, force not MG34 backing up. Nice push there for VonIvan. That's definitely one way of doing it. And certainly a nice improvisation there for VonIvan. Thumbs up. Pack out to the flying way. Troops, we've got more Fultons on there for VonIvan. He's committing to 5 infantry squads there with Fultons design. Can't help but shake the feeling that might be a bit much. But we'll have to see. I mean, I think another MG34 would do better, or a Kettenwerfers. Maybe another Sturm Pioneer squad. I feel like 5 Volksgrenadiers could put him on a path. There's some severe manpower bleed versus Gat. But we'll have to see. I mean, there's every possibility I'm wrong here. Rather than charging in there, Fultons they're being pinned down with the 50 caliber. Nice little electrical assault there by Gat, pinning them down to the ground like the insects they are. 2 to 3 continues to fight for now and there with extra resources, and particularly nice got control of the fuel points and munitions. He's getting a lot more. 57 and 35 there versus Gat's 32 and 13. That is a notable advantage there. Certainly more than twice in the case of fuel. And munitions wise, it's close to being twice as much as well. Ooh, 50 caliber caught in a bad spot. On the west Fultons there's the paratroopers moving ahead there. Also, there's the riflemen. Quick Brandhand Granada against those chaps. Burning them up, or at least attempting to burn them up. We got Packard firing down there. Fultons almost taken out. Troops reinforcing. Puma setting out once more for the fatherland. Fultons, there's the riflemen. Bit of skirmishing around here. Packard's firing down the Volksgrenadiers. Also another reason again why it might be a bit of a bad deal to commit to too many with all the Packards. Well, the Packards about there. Well, he can soon take out and maybe go for some actual armor here, which I think will be the prime idea here for VonIvan. Admittedly, an MG34 would obviously not be a much better choice against the Packard either. I mean, in that regard, he'd have to, go for counter-television. Always schwer, Panzer Hauptquartier is likely going to be the next target. He could go for the battle group headquarters, but I don't think the Sturmtiger is going to be like a great late game choice at the moment, and the King Tiger field will be also too far off on the horizon here for VonIvan to really make work. At least for now. That's not to say it's entirely impossible or a bad idea, but I just think like as sort of an intermediate choice, he needs, medium armor like Panzer IVs, maybe a Panther. By Jagdpanzer. Another 5th cab on the way there for Gat. He knows where the things that matter are, and that's the ones that spit out a lot of bullets. Major there right above the Fulton, there's Puma hanging back. There's still 3 kills for the fatherland. And Parrots were finally being upgraded with the Browning light machine gun. I believe that particular version was actually modified to assemble the MG34 or 42 more by giving it a pistol grip to sort of operate more like those light machine guns. So a little fun fact there. There you go, fighting against the Fultons, forcing them now forced to rout here, since the upgrade was a bit late to the party. For now, though, it is main good using the infantry for the most part, avoiding any sort of pointless wipes, and he's just using it to basically attack here, Gat from larger sort of angles, more angles that he's seen to just envelop him better, keeping Gat contained to a very small part of the map, which I think is very good.
I mean, there's also the issue there with the pack cards. It kind of makes it hard for VonIvan to just play defensively. So in that regard, you know, just looking to keep his opponent a bit more on the back foot would be the best idea, or at least a good one. And of course, he could try and sneak up the Puma to like snipe the ambulance and take that out. I mean, that could also prove to be, I think, helpful there for VonIvan. But there you go, Schwab hunted quarters up, protecting the carve point, which is actually now covering something, or, you know, leading to something, though that is quickly being changed here by Gat, who's looking to rapidly redraw the map with a bit more, you know, American colours. Paratrooping west was there for kills, Veteran D1, Schwab hunted quarters up. Rifleman resistance moving up, MU-54 hanging back. Straight to the MU-54, the bazooka crew. So the machine gun is a bit isolated on here in the west, and that could prove to be a bit of a problem there, because we've got the pack arts moving up and there's probably more infantry threatening, so it's going to be a bit of a tricky spot here for now. It's likely to ccollapse the position, though we are seeing troops being rushed in to deal with this. I mean, you could try and flank up through here and hit the pack out, so that could prove actually quite unpleasant there for Gat if he actually just ignores the majority of the forces to go for the pack out if he can't steal it. And these here for now, forces are being besieged by Gat as well, making machine gun there proving to be quite a nasty bit here. And unfortunately, it's not trying to flank about to hit the pack out, it goes straight against the infantry. Missed opportunity to say there by VonIvan. I can understand why I want to kill the paratroop and all that, but I feel like you could get rid of the pack out and maybe steal, that'd be huge, but in this case it does seem to turn out there now. And if you can of course get a wipe, that'd be huge as well, but I feel like pack cards is like just strategically has more value, in particular in a longer match here against Gat. We'll have to see though, but still getting another wipe there is definitely also good. But again, I just can't help but shake the feeling the pack cards would be a better target here for VonIvan to like, end, because the pack card is just really nasty. Either way, he can go for the Panther for in a few moments, though again, having 5 focuses does mean again there's a more bigger manpower range, so again it's hard to just easily find the manpower for it. Sturm, or Panther there would also be the idea. Sturm Tiger, maybe once you say has some armor on, he could go for the Sturm Tiger, that would try and blast through Gat support weapons and infantry. We'll have to see. We got 314 versus 392 in this regard. Gat is desperately putting some good victory point control here on display. Lots of troops retreating backwards there for reinforcement and healing. Panther 4 is close though. Of course, they're being attacked here by a sizable American force there from the 2nd Armoured Division. Paratroopers with the light machine gun providing heavy fire support there, forcing the forces to retreat there. Of course, the pack carter also proving to be a bit of a nuisance there. 4 killed, close to Veteran 2-1. Here we go. Major up for Gat, and we got Panther 4 there on the way for VonIvan. Gat could go for Sherman, he could also go for the Jackson tank destroyer, we'll have to see, but he's certainly aggressively tanked across the front here. He isn't spotted, routed. In the west, oh, machine gun wiped down. He did try to save it here with the Puma, but it all taken too much damage. I imagine here from the pack cards playing a role. Maybe, and then the paratroopers now just up stealing it. Quite a blow there to VonIvan, losing his only suppressive weapon here versus Gat. It's nice just down to infantry. We got Sherman there for Gat as well. Panther 4 almost down here for VonIvan. In theory, he could try and just cancel it and go for the Panther instead. Would be much more effective versus the Sherman. But VonIvan, imagining in this case, is more focused on just killing the infantry, which the Panther 4 does do better. Make no mistake. I'll wait Panther 4 out there for VonIvan and the German army. Puma moving ahead there, 7 kills, Veteran 2-1. Bit of sniping there, 7 kills, Veterans 1, Panther 4 sending out, adding the Panzer Commander for further accuracy, and line of sight, and of course the ability to call in artillery. Got more bazooka teams up, there's the Major also found himself on bazooka duty. Not what the Major signed up for the war for, but there is nonetheless. Oh, charging straight at the 5th car with all the infantry. Not got there for VonIvan, not a well-executed attack, I would say. Panther 4 taking heavy damage. He does manage to successfully push back the 5th car, but his troops are getting suppressed here quite aggressively. Got the paratroops here. Not using suppressive fire though. But of course, all this infantry bunched up. Oh, pack out lands a nasty hit there on the Panther 4. Veterans 1 on it already. Puma Sentinel joining machine in the reposition already here for Gat and the 2nd Armoured Division. There goes Sherman in there with the Panther 4 already ill-disposed to receive any sort of further attacks. The Puma's going to have to keep this part of the front covered.
Next got riflemen up there at the Volksgrenadiers. 13 kills, veteran 4. Brandhandgranate. Drawing them out into the open there, hosing them down. Panzer IV could do with some repairs. Okay, we got healing reinforcement going there for GAT. Packouts immediately joining in with the fun there again. And there goes Sherman setting up. Puma could try and flank him, get some hits in there. Popping in heat rounds. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. Got of course sees it and begins pulling back the Sherman there. I think that is very much the right decision. Rather than trying to duke it out there with a Puma with heat rounds. They're being slowly murdered here. Looks like he struggles paying attention. There you go. Ace little paratroopers while we're there with double Browning light machine guns. And the wipe is secured. Bit of blood there. We got the Panther rolling in there. Bit of just maneuver. VonIvan needs to be careful. He could easily risk losing them. And even now, he's actually got less map control in some ways, but seemingly still they got active still roughly 50-50. He's still getting more resources thanks to that 223. So I mean, it's definitely proving to be a helpful advantage here in investment for VonIvan. Though again, if he'd been able to like put in a fuel point and secure, he could easily be getting a lot more fuel, which could mean a lot more Panzer IVs faster. Still, any sort of advantage you can secure, even how slight it is, can prove to be crucial in the longer game. And certainly this fight is looking to be heading in that direction. Another air group, Comet Group in there for GAT. That could mean another pack out. It would certainly also very crucially means more paratroop light machine guns. As you can see there, they are definitely very good with their Browning light machine guns, and they're certainly getting for now and then a bit of a hard time. We got Orbison here for VonIvan. Not a bad investment. He's also lost several Volksgrenadiers now. So in fact down to just 3. So some Orbison replacements do make a lot of sense. Though we should definitely, I think, begin just pulling in more armor. Now the Panther IV could work out at this stage. Rifleman getting murdered. We could see another one up here against there. Go GAT. But again, he does have that second paratrooper score, though not yet upgraded. Going for the car punch, looking to cut off the eastern fuel. Quick play there by VonIvan, though he might want to bring up some support. Panzer IV there is good to go for VonIvan. Going for the Rifleman all the way down to 3 men. Down to 2 men. Tried to pop the anti-tank Rifleman, but thought better of it. Puma there landing a nice hit on the Sherman with its heat rounds. I don't think the Puma actually would have access to heat rounds. Partly because heat rounds were apparently used for lower velocity guns. It's going to help deal with armor because they couldn't generate the velocities to punch through the armor. Panzer IV there pushing back the lieutenant, getting a quick kill there. We got 4 kills on the Panzerkampfwagen 4 on the Sherman. The Zug team flanking out. There, Sherman could also join in. In fact, he could try and go for deep flank by going up for... Oh, no, mind. There's a scrap Panzer IV on the way there. Silly me. Otherwise, that could have been a possible path there to take. To get behind for now, maybe. Ooh, Pedro out over to the Panzer IV. And again, that one with the Panzer Commander. Lucky there. Puma, half health. Need to fall back here swiftly in the face of GAT's forces there. We got 185 to 302. Fine, they definitely need to put some more effort into the victory points. And we got the second Pentagon there for VonIvan. That's for GAT. He's definitely got resources well there to push for any tanks or tank destroy he might so desire. Pedro's take another calamitous casualty there. 50 caliber popping up there, but that's just going to be an easy target for Panther IV to flush out. And GAT seems to realise this and immediately ejects the 50 caliber there like an old VHS cassette from the house. Rifleman got through the centre. On the west we got Pedro. They're going for the victory point there. It is now GAT's control being controlled the map, then sending in more resources. Though again, thanks to the 223, VonIvan isn't too far behind either. Fifth guy over there. Ooh, almost out here with the Panther IV could grab that. That'd be pretty big for VonIvan, but no. Gets away. Bazooka teaming up there. Panther IV shoots, misses. Second Panther IV almost down here. More bazooka fire. Panther IV almost down to half health. Sherman charges forwards. Orbison forced to retreat to the camp with upgrading with the light machine guns now. We got center victory points grabbed here by GAT and the 2nd Armoured Division. Pack out to fire there on the Volksgrenadiers. Second Panther IV setting out there for VonIvan. Panzer Commander as well, or pin mount machine gun. Puma going for it. Let's need 2 heat rounds. Trying to snap out that Sherman. Sherman down to less than half health here. Vetchi 2 right. Ooh, shoots and misses. Lieutenant backing up and covering the bazooka teams moving ahead here. Drawing all to fire away from them. Very good there. Panther IV landing good hits there. Still no upgrade on the other one. He's quickly focusing on the lieutenant first, but he probably should focus on the lieutenant maybe, or the bazooka teams, but he does end up forcing all the way. Rifleman here, putting pressure there on VonIvan's left flank. Got a wipe. Looks like the lieutenant did expire in service of America. 11 kills in the Panther 4 here. Paratroopers got in a bit of a sticky spot. He got the Puma moving up as well. Shoots and misses. Charging into the base here. We got both pack cards now crewed. If you could get rid of those, that'd be great. For VonIvan. Less great there for Gat. But he needs to get rid of those bazooka teams first. There we go. Maggie almost taken out. Bazooka dropped as well. Another casualty there. He could maybe have the Puma sneak up to take some hits off on the pack cards and then destroy it. Yup, looks like that's exactly what it's going to do here. G2 securing the center victory point. He's down 159 versus Gat's 386. Still getting rid of one of the pack cards will prove, I think, helpful there for VonIvan in the longer game. Another trot on the way there for VonIvan. Belgroup headquarters gets for reinforcement. I hope he's not going to try and play for the King Tiger now. I feel like just more armor now is going to prove crucial. Maybe a Yak Panzer. Obviously, also he's not got a Jackson tank so being hold forward. They could also maybe consider the Stukas a first. Maybe. I'm not a huge fan of it. 2 to 3 they're just standing about doing nothing. Panzer 4 they're almost good. He's also suffering more infantry casualties and should look into replacing those. Maybe another orbital line squad? Maybe. And they're about to get hosed with bazookas. Need to get out of there. Scheiße. Bazooka team's advancing again. They're right into the Panther 4's line of fire. Second Panther 4 moving up to assist. Get a whiff there. There you go, route it. And successful escape here. The Wrath of the Panzer 4. Sean moving in here. Jackson out. Paratroops go on the center victory point. Both equipped now with the light machine guns. Rather than dodging several hits here from the Panther 4. Pretty lucky there for Gat. Jackson moving in. Pushing for the west there. We've got one machine crew there manned by the paratroopers. Holding that up. Very good. Bet G2 gained on the Panther 4. Almost got the machine gun crew there, but then forced to fall back. Panther 4 by the Vet G2, which means on top of just being more accurate than a regular Panzer 4, it has the Vet G2 bonus, and then you get the Panzer Commander. So that Panzer 4 here should be quite accurate, and thus able to do some harm to the infantry. Comfortable Hut put you up there for VonIvan, going for the western fuel point, very good. Certainly the more fuel that VonIvan can gain, the better. Ooh, cluster bombs called in. That's definitely one way of dealing with that. Good play there by Gat. A bit expensive, but it does keep the fuel point out of VonIvan's hands for a bit longer. And he's quickly marine forces to prevent any further immediate recaptures. Mechanized getting the repair pioneers up. Very good upgrade there. We got 146 though versus 380. Going for the eastern victory point as well. Looking a bit dangerous there for VonIvan again. He is still at 146 whereas Gat is at 380. Troops healing and reinforcing. Repair pioneers being added. Oh, repair pioneers, medics. Medical pioneers. They're like pioneers, but this fixes people. Panther Commander being added to the second Panther 4 spare Panther caught on the fire here from the pack howitzer. Close for T2, Sherman Jackson moving up here. The situations are looking a bit dicey here for VonIvan. He used to be in control, now not so much. More orbs on the way for VonIvan. We're at 126 actually now. There's a 380. How will VonIvan deal with this? Gat moving up here. Theoretically, try and launch an assault for here, overwhelm the positions, and then maybe flank up behind Gat here in the east. Looks like he's going to go for that approach. Try and hit where the weakest and, tear through some support weapons. I like that idea. Okay, swinging straight for the armor, which he does spot. Sherman taking hits at Jackson in the line of fire. Puma down to half health. Panther moving ahead there. Heat rounds on one. Blitzkrieg on another. Puma about to go down. Almost got the Jackson there. Almost got the Jackson. Bazookas, they take it out. He failed to bring up info support for the armored vehicular push. Not good there. Meaning he's gotten away. He's a way of just pushing away the anti-tank crews. Could allow here Gat to get away with his armor. So he needs to fix that pretty schnell. I mean, if you get rid of the tanks, which should compensate for the loss of the Puma, but he fails to do so. That's not good. We got suppressive fire from the paratroopers on the orbital Dardan. Very good play there. Panther moving in. Betty 2. And there you go. Could take out the Sherman and the Jackson here. There you go. Sherman almost down. Almost done. Another Jackson away there for Gat. There goes Sherman down. Bazooka team on the command of the Major, they're moving in. And he gets the Jackson as well. The close victory feeling that Panther 4 need to get out of there fast. Troops moving about here. Ground the centre victory point. Not enough ammunition for the light machine gun. Rifle moving about here behind lines. Need to be dealt with swiftly. Grab the machine guns would also be a very good idea for VonIvan to help deal with infantry counterattacks. So 2 Panther 4s versus Gat, who's got no armour now, but still one major issue, one major challenge for VonIvan is the fact he's got very few victory points left compared to Gat. So that's something he needs to work hard at. We got Paratrooping in there, again ace level, 23 kills, pop grenade on the Obersladen. Will VonIvan realise there's a retreating time? Close one, but yeah. Moving in 8 Panther 4 here. Straight for the paratroopers. And the tank throws out there for Gat. 5th Cavalry Crew coming up in the assault there. And there you go, pushing away here successfully. Bazooka teams and the machine gun moving up there. Not enough for an artillery strike. Also, could maybe be an idea here. There's the paratrooper machine gun. Ooh, nice hit on the bazooka teams from the Panther 4. Close to fetching 2, sehr good. Other Panther 4's good to go. For now, I might want to consider some mines, but I'd probably just recommend more Panther 4s or a tank destroyer here. He could go for the King Tiger, but I feel like that'd be a bit of a mistake here at the moment. He needs more armour in this sort of raw sense here versus Gat. And partly just needs to pressure up because, again, he's had very few victory points. If anything goes wrong while he tries to stall for King Tiger, he's, you know, toast. The other option would be the Sturmtiger. I mean, there's some more of the support weapons, like, say, the machine guns. It could be an idea just to hold in the Sturmtiger just to make it harder for Gat to, like, use his support weapons like that, a bit like how the Pack-Howitzer makes it harder for VonIvan to use his support weapons freely. So that could be an idea there for VonIvan to consider. The one up here, the troops in the centre here almost got the rifle there, but didn't quite pull off. Jackson against the Panther 4 needs to get out of there. Blitzkrieg going on, but it's already low in health. Nope, although he's ordering it to hold fire to ensure it doesn't get away its position to the Jackson. It's looking a bit difficult here. Need to get the other Panther 4 in there. Panther's not quite working out there for VonIvan. Oh, it's not at all working out. The other Panther 4's not doing anything. He's too preoccupied. And the Panther 4 goes down, but it's only abandoned. Oh my. Cluster bombs called in the machine gun. Need to get out of the bazooka team there nearby. Panther 4 moving in as well. Folks have got the centre victory point. Moving for the west one, though we got a 5th cover there on the way. Orbison being suppressed. Panther 4 here with heat rounds going for the Jackson. Bazooka fire off here. And falls back. Then we got bazooka up the parading the pursuit as well there. A lot of bazooka fire there going on for the Panther 4. In the west, got the point. Rendered neutral. Orbison flanking in the 5th cover there. And there you go. Bazooka team's routing. Now the Panther 4 for VonIvan. And he can improve that one, putting up to a total of 3. Whew, this is intense. There we go. 5th cavalry being pushed back here. Almost got it, but not quite. Paratroopers going for the eastern one. The under fire from the Panther 4 center one being seized here by the machine gun crew. Now the Panther 4 almost done. He should probably crew that and just try and hold it towards here. Jackson setting up. Pack-Howitzer being used to grab territory. Orbs on there hit by a paratrooper grenade, need to retreat, and now 26 kills, 27. That's going to be a wipe there, I think, unless he retreats. Yeah, it's wipe no matter what, I think. There we go, dead. 2 slow there by VonIvan. So he's got 2 Panther 4s out, close to 3 if we can get that one going again. But Gat is quickly delivering some very heavy punches against VonIvan, leaving him in a bit of a precarious spot once more. 5th cavalry neatly wiped here by the paratroopers and the Pack-Howitzer combo. Very nasty stuff. Panther against the rifleman there. There you go, using self-repairs. Clever there. In fact, he's using self-repairs on both of them just to help sort of speed up the process. In this case, it can also allow him to just get enough going there so he can just get over to the repair pioneers. So, very nice. In fact, it puts it more or less at half health. I mean, certainly a handy ability there now that's been buffed. Going to finish off there. We got 53 versus 340. Panther 4 taking heavy damage here from all the bazookas and the Jackson. Panther 4 moving in. 49 points left for VonIvan. 5th cavalry crew there being slowly hosed down and slowly routed. Great hit here, Panther moving up, shooting after the Jackson and missing. Heat rounds being utilised. Another hit there. Jackson very low on health. Moving forward there for VonIvan. Pushing for the centre as well. We got a Panther 4 moving up there. But again, already 2 Panther 4s are heavily damaged here from encounters with Gat's troops. Packard's blasting away the Obersoldaten. More Sturmpanies for now, certainly highlighting the issue with getting his tanks repaired in time. Versus the Jackson at this stage, he might want to consider Yak Panzer just as I have something more specific to deal with that, and any other tank destroyers Gat might begin calling in. Otherwise, the other option would be a Sturmtiger, simply to try and maybe bait in the bazooka teams to wipe them up, because if we get rid of those bazooka teams, I think that'd give VonIvan's armor a lot more maneuverability. Tanks receiving a lot of repairs here. 19 versus 340. VonIvan is in a very, very precarious position here, and it's so far not improving a lot. Bazooka team again immediately just chipping very large holes into the Panther 4. Need to get the Sturmpanies out of there. Panther 4's with the paratroopers, and the center get a push here as well. We've got the Jackson already ready to deal with the Panther 4. Veterans one, and the Panther 4 goes down. Not good. We got 8 points left for VonIvan versus 340 there of Gat. And the second arm going for the Western victory point. Very good, very good. Bazooka's going to keep pursuing here. Panther 4's trying to take them out. Another Jackson almost done there for Gat. He needs to probably support those tanks with infantry, so that would at least make it a bit harder for Gat to just run bazooka teams at it. But sadly, he's not been keeping the Obersoldaten close to the Panzers a lot of the time. Since again, I think those could at least be used to focus down at least rapidly the median, and then so maybe deal with the re-echelons. Oh well. Troops are healing and enforcing. Got the Western victory point, got the centre one again. Before we regret finding the machine gun where they're secured back, but they'll probably get wiped out again here by Gat. Hopefully get it back safely. I also got their 50 caliber crew back. They're still... Nope, he does successfully get away there. That's pretty fortunate for VonIvan. A bit of sunshine in an otherwise stormy situation, if you will. Petrol the Fox is quickly used to suppressor fire, and apparently that also causes that to have a weird, funky cooldown effect. What do you think? Also interesting enough, apparently it has a very low cooldown, so it actually can begin firing in before the ability is done being used. That's actually interesting. I didn't know that. I think Gat is actually the first player I've sort of seen consistently use suppressing fire on the paratroop abilities. Like 2 thumbs up there to Gat, 2 thumbs up. Like, my God, someone's actually using abilities. As the Americans, which certainly highlights how dangerous they can be when they actually decide to use them. There you go, paratroopers here with 35 kills. They're really impressive work. That certainly shows how dangerous they can be. Panther moving up, we've got 2 Jacksons now firing at it. The Panther 4 simply does not have the firepower to match that, and he's got no backup firepower. Again, he's got no tank destroyers, no Panthers, and the Jacksons just easily chew through it. Again, this is kind of where he needs Yak Panthers or something like that, just to, you know, deal with the Jacksons from a safer distance with enough firepower. Because the Panther 4s in this particular keep splitting them up, it's easy targets for the Jacksons. It's either that or you were to commit to a lot of Pumas, in which case you might also have a chance then, but he needs something with sufficient firepower, you know, stuff like that. But he's down to just 1 Panther 4 there, 50 caliber round. It does seem like VonIvan is setting up for the King Tiger now when he's at 4 victory points, which I would say is very optimistic. Very optimistic. And then VonIvan is truly a ray of optimism. A beacon of it, if you will. Admittedly, a beacon I might need a bit of adjustment. Jackson's sitting out there, Packard's moving about, their riflemen in against the Sturmpanies with the bazooka there. Probably need to retreat those since they're low on health. Jackson's running about there for Gat. Going for the Western Nations, troops in reinforcing. Honestly, this is the sort of situation where a pair of Stoogs would be great for VonIvan. It's just the Oberkommando-West does not get access to Stoogs. Not even Doctrine, man. Since a pair of Stoogs would probably just be your best bet for dealing with Jackson, since they have a higher rate of fire and they're just more cost efficient. Oops, and they're about to get wiped out. Let's look at what pulled in here. Sadly missed all of Gat's troops. He does successfully push off the century point. He's still at 4 points versus the 309 here of Gat. And the promise for now, he needs to deliver some sort of crushing blow to Gat right now. He wants a chance of winning the longer you run. But right now, he's just building up resources, just trying to build up that sufficient mass to just launch a proper blitzkrieg assault through Gat's lines. And that just means Gat's just going to, constantly outbuild him in forces, and that way just strangle VonIvan or smother him with a pillow. Cool side, of course, of the pillow. He's not a monster. Well, macho monster, anyways. Troops are healing and reinforcing. But yeah, the situation for VonIvan is pretty grim. Not impossible, but I mean, for now, we really have to just pull off every spectacular tactical genius maneuver in the book and write a few new ones, I think, to sandwich this one. Panzer moving up, backed up. The Sturm Pioneers going here for the paratroops, opening up the Panzer 4. There you go. Panzer 4 gains 50. We've got 2 Jackson pursuing. Grenade off. They almost taking out the Sturm Pioneers. Veteran Fleet Jackson. That's really bad news there for the 8th Veteran Fleet Panzer 4. And there you go. GG. Game over. A loss for VonIvan. A loss for Germany. A victory for America, freedom, democracy. For the 2nd Armored Division. A spectacular fight here on Crossing the Woods. Certainly showing what the Americans and the paratroopers are capable of. I mean, those really did some heavy lifting here for Gat. 37 killed in one squad is quite impressive. It's certainly also, I think, had a few issues there with VonIvan's strategy, which I think in many ways quite worked out, but there were a few bumps here and there which I think sort of allowed Gat to catch up. So I think one of the issues was just him coordinating his tanks with his infantry, whereas Gat, I think, was able to just quickly get the bazooka teams up to back up his armour versus VonIvan just never had the infantry working with his tanks, which very much meant Gat could just better concentrate firepower, whereas VonIvan's tanks a lot of the time were exposed. So that was something that could have been improved upon by VonIvan. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. And like what you do, can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links are in the video description. Every donation, every pledge helps me to keep doing this day after day, so do consider. This is Pro Links and Cheers. Thank you for watching. Go all leave one for Lord, and sub to you all tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.